Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here talking about inventing now, inventing here. My partner and I were talking about starting a family. She'd ask me, when's the right time? When should we do it? And I would always say, never. There's never the right time to start a family. There's work, there's life, there's vacations you want to take, there's things you want to buy, right? There's never a good time to start a family. So I would unequivocally, and maybe somewhat flippantly say never. If someone was going to ask me today, when is the right time to start a business? When is the right time to disrupt the world, to take a new idea to market? I would say unequivocally and not flippantly, right now. About a year ago, I had an idea to create an open game console for the television. I wanted to bring video games back to the television. It was a $70 billion industry. The current incumbents were getting tired. There were no new franchises or IPs that people are getting excited about. And I was watching the number of gamers grow exponentially because people were starting to play games on their phones and on their tablets and on PCs. They're moving away from the television, which is something that I was, I most loved. So I had this idea to build a new game console based on an open platform called Android to leverage the mobile operating chips that we have today because they're inexpensive and create this $99 game console. Brilliant idea, right? This is going to get funded. I take it up to Silicon Valley, and I go talk with VCs. I'm like, look, it's a $70 billion market. Check. We've got the perfect product market fit, $99. All the games are free to try. Gamers are growing. There's more developers than there's ever been, right? We're not going to hurt for content. We're not going to hurt for gamers. Like, the market's huge. Check. And this business is going to take a ton of money. It's not just a hardware business, it's a software business. It's not just a software business, it's a content business. I want to do all three of these things at once and well. And no, you've never funded me before. And no, I've never tried to do anything big like that. And no, there is nothing on my resume that says hardware, but I know I can do this. Big market, big audience, needs a shitload of money. I'm going to get this funded, right? Yeah. 40 rejections later, this is the beginning of my story, not the end. And the reason is because now is the right time to invent. It used to be that when you had this great idea, you'd go beg your friends and family for some money. And after that didn't work, you'd go talk to seed investors or individual wealthy investors and try to get them on board. And then if you were lucky, unlike me initially, you'd go up to Silicon Valley and you'd convince venture capitalists to invest in your idea. But now you don't have to do that. There's this wonderful world of crowdfunding that allows you to bring your idea the way you want to bring it to the world without having to make any compromises. What's so amazing about crowdfunding is not necessarily that you get to raise money. Yes, it's wonderful and great, and it obviously helps you get to your end goal, but it allows you to create a connection with your audience. It allows you to create a relationship with the people that are going to use your service or use your product or get behind you in your cause. And the byproduct of that is they're the ones that fund you. They believe in you so much. They want this product or service just as much as you do that they're willing to give you their hard-earned money 3 months, 9 months, 12 months in advance of it ever having come to existence. There are a number of crowdfunding sites out here. This is by far the worst slide that I've done on this deck. If you look up crowdfunding on the internet, there's something like 100 sites. Kickstarter, obviously the most popular, great for funding creative projects. Indiegogo is a crowdfunding platform that's open, so any idea can show up on Indiegogo. AngelList is really interesting. It's a place where you can list your idea and find accredited wealthy individuals to invest in your business. And now they've actually taken that a step further, and you as an individual can create a syndicate and bring money to help somebody's idea. It's also actually a great place to find employees, people that want to work for a startup. If you have a cause or a nonprofit, you might go to Start Some Good, but there's a number of places to go to raise funds. So if your hesitation to start something today is, I don't have the money, that is no longer an excuse. That's just unacceptable. If you have the right idea and you can talk to your audience about it, there's no reason you can't raise the funds. And when I talk about audience, I want to talk about the idea of fandom and fans and fanaticism. You don't want customers. You don't want clients. You don't want users. You want fans. You want the guy that paints his face and puts on the ridiculous costume and goes to the Raiders game on a Sunday when it's raining and 20 degrees because there is no place in the world that he would rather be. You want fans that follow you and believe in you and support you no matter what, because this journey that we've all talked about is absolutely not easy. It is not paved smoothly, and there will probably be more failures than success. We just hope at the end it's the big success. So you want to try to elicit fans, and that's what we did. So after our 40 rejections, we decided to go find our fans. We said the opposite of Field of Dreams, right? We said, if you want this, we will build it. We want to build an open game console. We want to give creative freedom to all creators, all different types of game developers, and we want you to have the canvas of the television. The #1 screen in our lives, the most engaging device that we have, where you can have a shared experience. We want you to bring your ideas to the television. So we want to create this open gaming platform, and for gamers, we don't want it to cost you an arm and leg. It shouldn't cost you $500 for a box and $60 for a game before you even buy it, right? You should be able to try it, love it, and then tell the developer, I love it so much, I am going to buy it. So we went to Kickstarter. Yes, we raised money more than we ever anticipated, and that was amazing and wonderful and still shocking. But we got people talking. We started the conversation about what it is we wanted to do. We got the press talking. We got our fans talking. That one-to-one communication that we started establishing with them allowed them to become our promoters. And the thing that was even the most surprising of all of it is we inspired them to act. We started a movement. And that is historically incredibly rare. I think there's very few companies that you can think of off the top of your head where you have a real sort of emotional connection to that product. That it doesn't matter what they put out. It doesn't matter if it's more expensive than a comparable product. It doesn't matter if it has subpar features. You're going to buy it no matter what. In order to reach these fans, it's never been easier. I live in this world. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, Medium. It doesn't matter. You can have this one-to-one relationship with your fans. You can find out what it is they want, how to make your product or service better. Your invention gets better every single day as you communicate and learn from them and implement what they tell you into your product. The best products today are the ones where the company is actually listening and learning from their consumers. If you want them to keep coming back and you want them to continue to incite and inspire other people to join this movement, you have to listen to them. LaunchRock is just an example of a company that allows you to get your idea out there and, as simple as this, collect email addresses. This is the beginning of your community. This is the beginning of your fans. You can continue to iterate and refine and pivot on your idea until you get the mass community that you think is necessary to maybe go the next step, which is, let's say, take it to crowdfunding or take it to Silicon Valley. But the cool thing about today is you don't even have to have a product. I mean, the thing about Ouya was we had an idea. I had a prototype. I had 0 employees. I had about 20 hours of friends' engineering time just to prove to me that, yes, we could do this. I spent countless hours on Alibaba and looking at teardowns on iFixit and learning everything you can about hardware to prove that I could build this for $99 and not lose my shirt. But there's so much you can do about learning about the audience and learning about the product before you even go into production. And if you think making a product is hard and selling a product is harder, you're dead wrong again. Everybody can sell pretty much anything from a website now. You don't have to be on Walmart to be successful. You can go directly to Amazon and put it up there. So you can raise the money, you can create an audience, and you can get it out there. Now, the tricky part and the hard part, and when you really win, is when you create this movement. This is by far one of my favorite ads ever, and I am old enough to remember it, unfortunately. But for most of you who aren't, all you UCLA people, this is Apple's 1984 commercial where they introduced the Macintosh. And the thing that is so fantastic about this video is it created a huge sense of curiosity and wonder about a product. They didn't even show the product. You didn't even know what it was, but you wanted it. Right? You wanted to be one of those people that had it, right? You became a fanatic. You became a fan. Apple, right then in that moment, created this emotional connection with you that no matter what other product they put out on the marketplace, you were likely going to buy it. Now, they're Apple, you might say, and they work with Chiat Day, and they worked, they're on Madison Avenue, and I don't have that kind of money, and I'm not Apple, so I can't do that. And of course, I'm going to say that's not true. Of course you can do that. So this is Michael Dublin. I don't know if you guys heard of the company, the Dollar Shave Club, but he had an idea that men needed razors every single month. Now, I see men with 5 o'clock shadows and beards when it's 90 degrees in August, but apparently men need razors every single month. He created a video that crashed his servers within the first hour. It's been viewed over 10 million times. It got people to know what his company was, and it created, again, a following. Now you might say, well, Shia Day did this. This must have cost tens of thousands of dollars. It was 10 million views. Like, this was produced, right? This costs money. No, $4,500 for this video. I'll give you another example, one that's even more recent. And if you haven't seen this, I don't know where you've been. It's a company called Goldieblox. They create a book and a product for young girls who don't believe in pink and princesses and ponies and rainbows. And if you have a young girl in your life, she's probably already gotten this as a gift for the holidays or will. My daughter already has it, and I put it together. This has been viewed more than 6 million times in less than a week. It is one of the best-selling items on Amazon today. And they didn't have hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they're not from Apple. I mean, this is possible. You have to get it right. This isn't easy. I'm actually a perfect example of someone who failed to create a viral video. First of all, just a side note, if you go out with the ambition and the goal to create a viral video, I guarantee you will fail. You cannot create a viral video. You have to create a video that becomes viral. They're totally different things. We created a video in the hope of being viral with the goal of creating a viral video that we had tons of press on and got tons of views on, but in a bad way. So it's doable. It's just hard. It's really hard. There's no excuse not to raise money today. There's no excuse not to find your audience. There's no excuse not to create this fandom, this fanaticism for your product from your most loyal supporters. And there's no excuse not to find a way to connect with them. I just gave you a half a dozen of them. And those of you that are younger than me, I'm sure there's another half a dozen social networks out there that I don't know and really don't want to know about. The most important thing after you raise that money and after you establish that relationship with your community and that connection with your fans is to constantly communicate with them. You want to make that group of your most loyal supporters feel like part of the team. If these fans and these supporters are part of your team, you will be surprised by what they will do for you, how far they will go to support you and your product. This is an example. This is from our unveiling event back in March. When we started shipping our units to Kickstarter backers, we threw a big party for all of our gamers and all of our developers and all of our investors and all of our advisors and anybody that's ever touched Ouya, just to say thank you. Like to say we made it because of you, and we just want to take a moment in time where no, we have not succeeded yet, and no, we have not done everything we've set out to accomplish, but we just want to take a moment and say thank you. Now, there are many ways to do this a lot cheaper than throwing this big-ass party in San Francisco. But the important thing is to take a moment and take a beat and really say thank you to those fans and figure out an authentic way to do it. So, if you ask me now, even after having 2 amazing kids who I love more than life itself, when is the right time to have a kid? I will still probably say never. But I hope if you're thinking about starting an idea, or someone asks you when is the right time to start a new idea, you will say, thank you.